Hello and welcome back, everyone. Today we are going to be looking at the top 5 mods for animal pens to help you level up your gameplay so that you can make some more money. Yeah, that was just a really bad pun. I'm sorry. I apologize for that one. I couldn't help it. But yeah, we're going to be taking a look at the top 5 mods to help you earn more money in your game in Farming Simulator 22. So to kick off here, we're going to be looking at cows. This is the 120 by 400 BTO Freestall Monoslope by LegacyAg-LAC. Now, that was a giant mouthful. The thing you need to know is this is a massive, massive cattle stall. It doesn't show you that many cattle in there, which is a little disappointing, but it's holding 1,000 head of cattle. So it is just going through a ton. Now, this is only run for, I want to say, a month and a half. And we're at almost 300,000 milk, and our manure there is insane. The amount of manure this is making will run any BGA or fertilize all of your fields, whatever you want to do with it. So to take a look at it here, over on this side, we've got one fill trigger. That's going to be for our straw. So it will take bales or it'll take loose straw, and it'll start filling it in. You will go through a ton, so just kind of be prepared for that. If you're not worried about it, it'll just give you more slurry. I mean, you can see there's a ton of slurry in there right now, too, so it's no slouch on that either. This is a TMR bale I'm going to grab. The other fill point is on the other side over here. Now, this one can get a little bit tricky, so I've kind of found it best to kind of drive back and forth if you're dumping with a truck, or just kind of try and move your bale up along it and see where you can manage to get it. Sometimes it's like right by the gates here that it'll start taking it. Our food is completely filled, though, actually, right now. That's why it's not taking it now for me. It does last close to 2 months on a completely filled pen here. So it's not like you have to be refilling it every 5 minutes. So, like I said, it's kind of just drive around and find that trigger spot. And it's probably not going to give it to us right now because we are filled. Yep, alright, so yeah, just kind of, when you come through to fill your food, look around for the trigger spot. Sometimes you got to play with it a little bit, but for this many cattle, it's worth a minute or two of hassle. I mean, you're probably going to need a conveyor to get all of this manure out anyways and make use of it. Alright, so we're going to just take a quick drive over to the next one here to make it a little bit easier. Next up here we have the Fenceless Husbandries mod by CookieCat. This is going to be for your horses. It's the largest horse setup I could find that really works well. So right over here you've got a trigger point. If you hit B on Xbox, it'll either remove or add this little grid. That gives you the outline for where to stick fences if you want to put fences up. That is the extent of how far the horses will roam in this mod. Now, it will take straw over here. You basically will dump it right in, but it won't produce any manure. So it doesn't take a whole lot. It's almost 6,000 worth of straw, but it doesn't do anything for you. All it's going to do is change the texturing so that they're on straw instead of on concrete. Just something to keep in mind. Even if you put up a manure heap extension, it's still not going to produce any actual manure for you. Food trigger is just over here. And it'll just take everything in, whether it be oats, hay, whatever you're feeding them. And that is the Fenceless Husbandries by CookieCat. They do make mods for every single animal, or make a pen for every animal in that mod, but everything else I'm going to show you will hold a lot more animals. It's not something to discount because they do make it. It is a very good mod. CookieCat did a really good job. They can make things quite easier for you because it is more than what the base game will allow, and usually it's a pretty small footprint. So just kind of keep that in mind. Alright, next up here for pigs, we have the Modern Pigs Barn by BlackSheep Modding. It's very small overall. It is not a huge footprint, it's not a huge pen, but it's holding 450 pigs for us. So you get a lot out of this little stall. It is very interactive too. all of the doors in and through here open and close. The front doors open and close. So, I mean, it is a very nice mod. Food and straw both get taken and back over this way. Food gets dumped right over by this hopper here. Straw usually kind of gets picked up a little bit closer. Alright, so straw is usually taken closer to about here. But all of these doors open and close. From your manure, you are going to have to come through and open each one of these doors so that you can scoop up all of your manure. Or you can always throw up a manure heap if you'd rather do it that way. Slurry gets taken out just right over here. And then all of your pigs roam around through this whole outside and interior. Alright, and that is the Modern Pigs Barn by BlackSheep Modding. Now we're going to head over here to our sheep pasture. And this is going to be the large outdoor sheep pasture by Jamo. Keep in mind this will need water, but I haven't found any indoor sheep barns or anything that'll have an automatic water that's on a large scale at all for the sheep. This will hold 500. And it will conform to whatever the landscaping is, so you don't have to flatten stuff out beforehand, and it's not going to eat up any extra cost by flattening it. The Fenceless Husbandries pack does do the same thing, and they do have a sheep pasture as well, but it doesn't hold the same amount of animals. The one downside you'll have is you'll see our health is pretty low. Part of that's because they go through food very quickly, and it doesn't have a massive, massive quantity that it'll hold. So keep in mind, if you use this setup, you are going to need to make sure to feed quite a bit. Or, another little hack for you if you didn't know, if you stack bales right up into the trigger point here, it will just kind of start sucking them up as it needs it. So as food goes down, it'll start sucking up more of those bales. But as you can see, we've only got 30,000 liters worth of grass in there. It's really not a whole lot for 500 sheep. But you will be producing a ton of wool because we've got a full point there, and I think I do have more wool that was ready to spawn if we had the space for it before. But remember, it does need water, and they take out the food pretty quickly, and same thing with the water. You're going to need to make sure you refill this one probably daily, if not twice a day, just to be safe. Alright, and that is the large outdoor sheep pasture by Jamo. Jamo? I apologize, I probably am pronouncing it wrong one way or another. We're going to say Jamo. Alright, and then finally we have the large old chicken coop by VX Mapping. This is the biggest you can find that works well. There is another large one, I can't remember the name of it offhand, but I've had nothing but problems when I've tried to use it. This one seems to just work for me. Now, the big things to keep in mind is when you come in, you'll see you've got a feed point here. Don't try and maneuver stuff in here to use it in there. That's just, it doesn't work out well. If you come, thought it was outside, keep messing that one up. If you come right over to your point here and hit your trigger, B on Xbox, or again, if we turn on the info triggers or the help window, you'll see it pop up over there. It'll send our food point out here. And then outside here, you can just load up your chicken feed, back up a truck, however you want to do it. And this does hold quite a bit of food. It will take straw as well, but just like the horse barn, you bring the straw right into here for it to take straw. It won't produce any manure. I think there is a mod out there for PC so that chickens will produce manure. Maybe it'll work with that, but I know if you throw up a manure heap outside, it won't do anything. There are lights for the shed in here, and then your doors here to your pickup area will open and close. And we've got more lights in here. And if you want to, you can lift the food dispenser and lower the food dispenser where the chickens are in here. But this will hold 2,000 chickens. It holds quite a bit of food and straw, and it'll produce all of your pallets of eggs right out here, and you will produce a lot of pallets of eggs. So keep in mind, you'll either need something small with auto load, or you'll probably need a small skid steer or forklift to come in and be able to move these pallets out, or if you have liftable pallets on. Alright, that was the large old chicken coop by VX Mapping. Thank you all for watching. I hope this helps with your gameplay. If you have any questions, let me know down in the comments. Give me a like and subscribe. It does really help me out. Have a great day. Happy gaming.